Prepare yourself for Earthling Entertainment, the perfect blend of paranormal and pop culture, with your host, Joe Wakefield and Ryan Lang.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Earthling Entertainment with Joe Wakefield and Ryan Lang.
Hey, I'm your host who's only haunted by his mysterious past, Joe Wakefield.
And I'm Ryan Lang, fresh out of Disneyland.
Anyways, hello for those of you visiting the show again. Thank you for being a reoccurring listener.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Remember to download. Now, for those of you joining us for the first time, you might be wondering, what is this show? Like, what is Earthling Entertainment? What do you do? What are you all about? Well, you know what? I'll tell you what we're all about.
Okay.
What we do here is a little bit of the spooky, a little bit of the creepy. Sometimes it's cryptozoology. Other times it's a haunting or a myth or a legend. But it's always spooky.
Oh my God.
That, of course, is followed by a segment we lovingly call Disclosure Discussion. That one's all about aliens.
I'm just asking questions, and I'm not the only one. Today we actually have a special episode with Disclosure Discussion about a whole new documentary coming out.
Very exciting. And then the latter half of the episode, the second part, if you will, is all dedicated to pop culture and entertainment. Sometimes we have celebrity guests. Otherwise, we have trivia games, or we have headlines, or we talk about celebrity deaths, or we do audio dramas. Today, we actually have Today, we
Hey, it happens.
we have a Tattered Tales audio drama short. You know, I was on such a good roll.
You're good.
No,
You're good,
you know
man.
what? No, that's it, Ryan. I'm throwing the desk up.
That's it.
Gah!
Oh, he literally
Crash.
just that. Yep, there goes.
Anger.
Wow, there's my notes strewn all over the floor. So I guess we're just off the cuff today.
Huh. And those two pieces together, the pop culture and the supernatural, form a wonderful peanut butter jelly sandwich of a podcast we like to call Earthling Entertainment. Welcome.
Welcome indeed. Thanks again for listening. Like Joe said, to everybody who keeps listening, we love you. And everybody who just joined, we love you too. Welcome. This is going to be a fun episode.
I am not going to commit to loving anybody I haven't met. So if you're just joining us, we're vetting. We'll feel it out, okay? You seem okay. We let you in the door. I don't know beyond that. But what I was trying to say is today is the episode, which is the last episode of the month. And every time the last episode of the month, we have a Tattered Tales audio drama short. Today's audio drama short is called My Story Will Be Told. It's really cool. And that'll be in the second half of the show. And until then, Ryan, how was Disneyland?
Yeah. So it was just on the random. My girlfriend is a flight attendant. So I kind of can just come along with her. They put me on standby, and
I'm sure you don't get the best seats, right?
Yes, I actually.
You do?
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Well, because often, a lot of people ain't paying for like those, and she's for Spirit, so they got those big leather chairs in the front. I got to sit
and those
in
are
that.
upgrades, right?
Yeah, I got to sit in that on
wow.
the way there and back, which is like, geez, it's almost a 5-hour flight from Detroit to LAX. It's like a 4-hour, 45-minute.
Yeah, it's a little bit longer the other way. For sure.
Yeah, and then it's faster coming back. But yeah, so we were just going along, and my brother is really good at convincing me to do stuff. So he's just like, so wait a minute, you're flying for free and you're staying for free, and you're not gonna go do something? And I'm like, all right. So we ended up being like, we're going to Disneyland. Like, I'm sorry, that was a Bulletproof reference, the Adam Sandler movie.
Fair enough.
Disneyland. Anyways.
Yeah, I went to Disney World in Florida, and I haven't gone since it's been several years, 10, maybe 15 years. So I don't have any experience with any Disneyland at all. Even I lived in LA for 8 years, and I never went to Disneyland. I had a season pass to Universal Studios Hollywood because it was just one stop on the Red Line from my house. So I could literally go there all day.
That's awesome.
Randomly at the off season. So anyways, back to your story.
But yeah, so it was off season, and plus all of the fires and everything, so not exactly.
Wasn't horribly busy
like the first half of the day, but they had like a Valentine's Day special going on. The park usually closes at 10. They closed at 8 o'clock because the last 2 hours was reserved for people who purchased that special ticket.
Sure,
And
sure,
I'm
sure.
guessing there was a lot of people with season passes who lived, nearby because the place was flooded with people.
I'm sure
by the
Disney
end.
has a billion blackout dates in their season passes anyway. So if it's a off season on a Tuesday, I'm sure that was the day, right?
Yeah, and weather was great. Honestly, the air quality was good. We were, thank goodness. And but no, so we go in and the lightning pass was only like an extra $32.
What is
So
a lightning pass?
that's like where you use the app. Disneyland has its own app, kind of like they used to do Genie Plus. That's how they used to do it. I know from Disney World.
Oh my god!
And
See, it's been so
there's
long
so
since I
much
went
stuff.
to Disney World that we didn't even have smartphones the last time I went to Disney World. But
Now you do it all on your smartphone. It's
I
great.
hate that. But
No, it's not great. They don't have it nailed down. Let me tell you, because we paid $32 a ticket, right? So that comes out to 64. And honestly, we only used it for 4 rides, and the 4th ride, and it was at the end of the day when we were already ready to go. We literally walked 24,000 steps according to her Fitbit thing or whatever.
Sure.
And Tiana's Bayou ride, the one with the giant waterfall. It
so
used
that
to
is
be Brer
Princess
Rabbit.
and the Frog, right?
Yeah,
And so it's like a canoe ride where you hit the wave.
right. It's the classic one where you come down, and it splashes the people on the bridge.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And so we didn't get to do that because it broke down last minute, but we did like all of them, and it's funny.
While you were there, you're talking about doing a water ride, and it was -4 degrees here.
I know.
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
Well, we did get to do Pirates of the Caribbean. That's kind of a water ride. You get you get
you're
splashed
on a boat. It's watching animatronics and little like It's like going through a diorama.
There is a couple drops, like not huge, but like they, pretty good.
They're water bumps.
Yeah, it happens, and depending on where you're sitting, if you've got a lot of heavy set people on your side, the boat.
No!
Oh yeah, dude, that happened to me in Disney World years
So your
back.
ass is wet for the rest of the day.
Oh, dude. Oh, I literally like lifted my butt up while holding my 2-year-old sleeping. And then after that, this was obviously Disney World. This was years ago. You're in between the 2 pirate ships shooting cannons at each other and yelling at each other and shit. And I just see a silhouette in the dark just sitting up like Maggie Simpson just
Your kid just like, what the hell's happening?
like, oh my God, Dad, we're in the middle of a pirate battle.
Yeah, the perspective of a kid, right? Like, this is real. What have you done? Why am I here? What is happening?
But no, I have to say in Disneyland, Pirates of the Caribbean ride was better. It was longer. Like there was like a whole first half of the ride that's not even there at Disney World.
I'm sure there's a lot of differences between the parks. Yeah.
Well, especially the castle. I have to say it was very underwhelming. It's my first time seeing the Disneyland castle. I'm spoiled with Cinderella's castle at Disney World. It's Snow White's at... Yeah, guys, I'm a Disney nerd. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine, man.
It's Snow White's at Disneyland, and it's we looked it up because I'm like, it does look short. Only by 100 feet, but it's amazing how much like 100 feet makes a difference when it comes to that. Like, because it looked really, really small. Like it was. She was like my girlfriend was like, so that's not the castle, right? So where's the castle? I'm like, that's the Disneyland castle.
You know what was a good castle? Going back to Universal Studios Hollywood, the Hogwarts, man.
Oh, dude, I really want to go.
Harry Potter World is fantastic there. I went there all the time, got some butterbeer, people walking around in robes. I mean, and I heard the one in Florida is bigger, but I don't know. But they had the best Harry Potter ride where you're basically on a mechanical arm where you're sitting down and it makes you feel like you're on a broom and flying through the whole thing.
Awesome.
And it mixes in 3D movie screens as you turn, and then there's animatronics, and then you're being moved through it's fantastic.
That sounds like the one in Disney World for Avatar.
Oh, I bet Avatar's fantastic. Jesus.
Yeah, it's like you're flying on those flying whatever they are, the wyverns or whatever they're called.
Well, I was gonna say, why does not Fox have its own theme park? Then I'm like, oh right, Disney bought Fox, so they do. It's Disney World.
But honestly, all I really got to say about Disneyland, it was great. We had a great time. But when it comes to the Lightning Pass, her and I honestly walked away from there being like, because it zigzags you all over the park, and you can only use it every 2 hours. Isn't that weird? So you can only do one ride every 2 hours.
There's different levels and other weird things about it.
Yeah,
right?
you can buy another premium, which is like an extra $100.
See, that stuff is ridiculous. They made it like a video game where it's like, all right, yeah, you bought the base ticket, but unless you pay for any of this DLC, you're not going to actually be able to go on the ride.
And to be fair, when they did cancel for it, because I didn't realize it at the time, but I realized it after, I just thought we were screwed. When they canceled because the ride went down. When we were to use our last lightning pass, I could have went in the app and used that for any ride I wanted at that moment.
Ugh.
We
Well,
were already
print,
ready
buddy.
to go. We were like 24,000 steps. We were dying. But yeah, honestly, our takeaway is enjoy the park how you want. Don't do the lightning pass. We waited for rides, and it was really maybe a half-hour wait. It really wasn't that crazy. So
I don't know. I think you have to really just focus on like one or two things you want to do and just be loose the rest of the day. Because
I
if you have
agree.
a list, you're not going to hit it all.
and by the end,
Especially if it's like the Star Wars stuff, the premium stuff.
exactly. And we were feeling like sick by the end of the day. It was a lot, but we had a great time. And but yeah, that's my suggestion. Don't even do the lightning pass. Just enjoy it. Walk around, do your own thing, visit everything. And if you want to ride something, it's worth the wait.
Oh, fair enough. Well, speaking of worth the wait, why don't we just jump into our first segment, Ryan?
Why don't we, Joe?
All right, guys. So we've been doing a lot of cryptids. We've been doing a lot of mythical monsters and
We
other
have.
things. So I asked Ryan if he could track down a fun haunting, and he found us a doozy. So we hope you enjoy this ghostly, spooky stuff.
The Battersea Poltergeist. In January 1956, 15-year-old Shirley Hitchings of number 63 Wycliffe Road in Battersea, London, discovered a silver key sitting on her pillow.
Hold on. To be clear, this sounds like it's an apartment. Is it one of those longhouses in England, you think?
I think so. I think see, I don't understand. The architecture.
I think it's
Yeah.
like a longhouse. It's like a townhouse in here in the
Yeah.
United States. Yeah. All right. My apologies.
No,
Continue.
you're good. It kind of reminds me of Coraline.
Yeah.
Her father tried the key in every lock in the house. It didn't fit. Little did the family know that this was the beginning of a chain of seemingly supernatural events that would torment them for 12 years, with the famed ghost, named Donald by the family, moving furniture, writing notes, and even setting objects on fire during his reign of terror.
That feels like quite an escalation, right? Like Donald just moves a chair and you're like, Donald made me fall on my butt, you prick. But then he's like setting the curtains on fire and you're like, oh shit.
Like, Donald, no.
No, it's a bad Donald.
Bad Donald.
What are you doing?
At the
You know what the thing is, though? All these ghosts never think about is it's like if you keep being a dick and haunting this place, like you do realize someone's going to tear down your house. Like, if no one's living in your house, it will fall into decay. And if you're lucky, it'll end up like the bank will own it and it might survive 50 years. But you are screwing yourself. Now, if you spook them a little bit, just like you're kind of a little bit of an asshole and not enough to scare them to leave, you can prolong the longevity of your own haunted domain. That's all I'm saying.
I guess it depends on whether it's a Casper or not, whether it's friendly or not, right? Because if it's like truly malevolent, it's probably thinking like, if I can't have it, no one can.
Well,
So maybe they want it demolished. And what if that is the key to them being able to be free? Like they're kind of trapped in the house, so they need it demolished. So they're like, I'm going to scare people so no one will live here. And then eventually they'll tear this bitch down and I'll be free.
Yeah, I was going to go off on another tangent, but I actually really like that idea. Like the ghost is tethered to the building as long, because can you imagine if you, that is the rules of being a ghost and you're tethered to some,
Yeah.
I don't know, just like apartment building or something, but they make it a historical landmark, or for some reason it's like a government agency works out of it. So there's some reason that this building has just kept on being there for 100. In Europe, they have buildings that are thousands of years old. I mean,
Right.
the United States, we don't, obviously, but I'm just saying, can you imagine you haunting that place? Oof. You'd be like, I just want it to be gone.
Well, and you never see like a new fashion ghost. Like it's not very often you see like a ghost walking around with his iPod. You
That's
know what I
true.
mean? Like back in,
That's true.
I'm just saying like an early 2000s ghost
Yeah, that would be really funny.
wearing his trip pants.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Actually, I saw a kid in trip pants the other day, but
Was he dead?
no, he was alive. I
Oh.
think.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Did you try to walk through him?
No, he was too far away.
Then you can't be too sure.
I can't.
Right, you should just start over.
Anyways,
Start from the top.
really?
Yep.
Okay. The Battersea Poltergeist. In January 1956, 15-year-old Shirley Hitchings of number 63 Wycliffe Road in Battersea, London, discovered a silver key sitting upon her pillow.
Creepy.
Her father tried the key in every lock in the house. It didn't fit. Little did the family know that this was the beginning of a chain of seemingly supernatural events that would torment them for 12 years, with the famed ghost, named Donald by the family, moving furniture, writing notes, and even setting objects on fire during his reign of terror.
Awesome. I just wanted to be brought back up to speed
Oh,
because
yeah.
we talked for such a long time.
Yeah.
So my bad.
No,
Continue.
you're good. At the center of the case was 15-year-old Shirley, whose teenage years were consumed by the poltergeist. At its height, the terrifying case of the Battersea Poltergeist attracted international attention, and today it continues to puzzle ghost hunters around the world.
Greg didn't know what was going on.
Greg don't know shit. We normally associate ghost stories with castles, churches, and mansions. However, number 63 Wycliffe Road in Battersea, London, was a seemingly ordinary semi-detached home, and its occupants, the Hitchings family, were a seemingly ordinary working-class group. There was Father Wally, a tall and gaunt London Underground driver.
Hold on. I feel like we should have like a theme music, like, like a sitcom. Like, there was Father Wally.
Yep.
Da, da, da. All right,
Tall and gaunt London Underground driver. His wife Kitty, a former office clerk who was a wheelchair user due to chronic arthritis.
That's kind of sad.
Grandmother Ethel,
Surprisingly not in the wheelchair.
a fiery character known locally as Old Mother Hitchings.
Okay, hold on though. Like they going as far as a historical document being like she's a fiery spirit. Like that must have been a sassy grandma.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, come on. A British sassy grandma. I can't think of anything funnier.
I don't know. This needs to be a sitcom, and then like
Yes.
Donald comes in and knocks shit over. Donald.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. That's great. You're right.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Wow. Her adopted son, John.
Oh,
who
there's
is-
more cast
So
members.
there's more. Her adopted son, John, a surveyor in his 20s. What the hell's a surveyor?
Somebody who does surveys, dude. Excuse
And
me.
finally, Shirley,
Hold on. I
Wally.
feel like the adopted son though is there for the first season, but he doesn't test well. So
No.
we just don't. We never talk about him again.
He
after
just
that.
looks at things. He's a surveyor. And finally, Shirley, Wally, and Kitty's 15-year-old daughter, who was about to start art school and worked as a seamstress in the Selfridges.
All right.
In late January 1956, Shirley discovered an ornate silver key on her pillowcase that didn't fit any lock in the house. The very same night, noises began with deafening bangs, reverberating through the house and shaking the walls, floor, and furniture. The sounds were so loud that the neighbors complained, and Shirley later reflected that the sounds were coming from the roots of the house. The noises escalated and continued for weeks, with a new scratching sound within the furniture, tormenting the
sounds like rats.
the sleep-deprived and terrified family day and night. Neither the police nor surveyors, there's their surveyors again, could get to the bottom of where the noises came from, and various photographers and reporters were left unsettled upon visiting the house.
Oh, I'm just unsettled.
The theory that the noises were being caused by a supernatural presence, a poltergeist, therefore emerged, with the family naming the mysterious entity Donald.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
As time went on, activity within the house became more extreme. Multiple witnesses claimed to have seen bed sheets flying off beds, slippers walking around on their own, clocks floating through the air, pots and pans being thrown across rooms, and chairs moving across the house.
See, none of that really freaks me out except the clocks floating in air. And
Yeah.
here's why. Because if something flies across the room, it's like, I don't know why. I can logic that away. I could be like, someone threw it. I didn't see him. But if something's floating slowly, then it's like, well, you can't talk yourself out of that. That is hovering right in front of you as it moves just kind of at a leisurely pace across the room.
It's like at first,
That's scarier.
it's like I watched too much Star Wars, so it's like at first I'd be like, am I doing this? Is it happening?
Is it finally happening?
Is
Do I
this happening?
finally have the force?
Like, I'll be damned.
Oh my god,
That'd be amazing.
that would be fun.
But then it's just a ghost, and then he just throws the clock in your face.
I kind of feel like that is a missed opportunity from the show Ghosts, because the one of the main characters, the husband who owns the house named Jay, he is a big nerd, and they're surrounded by fun-loving ghosts. And at some point, having like a Star Wars, am I using the Force, like you just said?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a real missed opportunity.
I agree.
All right, I'm gonna have to call them CBS.
Copyright, Earthling
But-
Entertainment.
Yeah.
It was clear that Donald was fixated on Shirley, with the noises following her to work and the paranormal happenings occurring around and even to her. Most significantly, Shirley herself was witnessed involuntarily moving in her bed and around the room by various family members and neighbors. By now, her association with the poltergeist had caused her to lose her job and friends, and many believed her to be possessed by the devil.
Well, see, that's one point for like, okay, maybe it's real, because it's one thing to like want attention, but when you start like losing your friends, no one wants to hang out with you because of this. Well, then it's like that's a level of commitment that you got to question. Maybe it's real.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
From around March 1956 onwards, the Hitchings family began to draw press attention. Photographers lingered outside the house, while newspapers reported that the poltergeist was romantically obsessed with Shirley.
I mean,
It sounds like it. Many believe that the poltergeist was a figment of her imagination and that she was purposefully stirring up the story for attention, but this is merely speculative.
Oh, my boyfriend Donald, he's from Canada.
Right. Oh, how's she going, eh? Eventually, the Daily Mail got in touch. Shirley was invited to the head office, where she was strip searched to ensure that she wasn't hiding anything. The paper published a sensational account of her story, which attracted widespread attention.
What would she be hiding?
I don't know.
I mean,
back
it-
in 1956. I don't
Right? So
know.
it's like I got a
Like
record
notes,
player under my
maybe?
shirt of strange sounds.
I guess just for the validity of it all back then, they were just trying their best. That's due diligence back then. All right.
You know, every time I've asked someone I hired to get naked for due diligence, they weren't about it, Ryan. So I question the validity of this.
Excuse me, sir.
I'm gonna be a cashier. I'm not gonna show you my butt.
You sounded like Butthead there. That was good. An attempt was made by the BBC to contact Donald on primetime TV, and the haunting was even spoken about in the House of Commons. In early 1956, paranormal investigator Harold Chibchibit was drawn to the case, a tax inspector by day and paranormal enthusiast by night.
Now that's a comic book.
Harold Chibchibit. He was well known and connected. The case became one of the biggest of his life, and his extensive records demonstrate that he authentically believed in the Battersea Poltergeist. He spent days and nights recording events in the house, and eventually became a close family friend of the Hitchings. He even wrote a detailed book about the case, but it was never published. As time went
I
on,
wonder why it was never published.
I don't know, maybe
Maybe it was just like
It's probably
he
expensive
did
at the
all
time.
this extensive research, but simply was just too dry. Like he was just a bad writer. He's like, oh
Yeah,
god, no
maybe.
one can get through this book, bro.
Well, I mean, yeah, it said he's a tax inspector by day, so that doesn't sound like the most exciting person.
It's like what the saying back in the day. It's like a VCR manual.
Yes, yes. So,
In pop culture 80s movies, I heard that reference a lot. Don't judge me,
I
Ryan.
ain't judging. I ain't judging.
Ryan looked at me like you just made us seem so old.
Well, so as time went on, Donald's behavior became increasingly violent. Rooms were supposedly found trashed. Spontaneous fires would apparently break out. One which was so severe that it hospitalized Wally.
Oh, I told you. That's why he left after season 1.
There was also writing and symbols of crosses appearing on the walls. And we actually have a picture of it here. Like, I actually found pictures of it. And it does look kind of weird.
They're a little creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think anything appearing on a wall could be, categorized as spooky. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah. So exorcisms were attempted, and the police would check up on the house. Mysteriously, Donald even circulated Christmas cards.
Okay.
So,
Well, this is where we're jumping the shark a bit.
so hold on. No, he gave out Christmas cards. It's said that the family learned to communicate with the poltergeist, initially by using alphabet cards and through tapping a certain number of times to mean yes or no. And then, in March 1956, through written correspondence addressed to Shirley, which said, "Shirley, I come." From March 1956.
They said he was obsessed with her. You feel like you could have worded that a little bit less racy.
Well, I mean,
I don't
not
know.
bad for his first attempt.
Yeah, it should have been like, it'd be funnier though if it was just like a really like lame text. It's just like, what did it say? Sup.
Hey.
That's how, like, you up. That's it. It just says you up.
ASL. There you go. I'll just age us even further. ASL.
I don't even know what ASL is, bud.
Age, sex, and location.
Really?
That was the original like AOL Messenger AIM.
I guess I wasn't
Chat
I
room.
guess I wasn't getting laid during AOL Messenger.
Neither was
times.
I. I arguably probably shouldn't have been on those groups. I was way too young. So
Netflix and chill. That's it. Just Netflix and chill.
Blockbuster and chill back then. Or family Mammoth Video.
Dude, I think it was it was before video was actually invented, if we're talking the 60s. But that's besides the point.
Fine. From March 1950.
Radio show and chill.
Yeah. From March 1956, Donald left notes around the house, ordering the family to do things such as dress Shirley in courtly clothes and contact the famous actor Jeremy Spencer.
Once again, really weirdly specific.
Oddly specific.
Yeah.
Oddly specific.
You know what? Hit up Elijah Wood. Just tell him, big fan from Donald.
Who do you think you are? This led to a breakthrough, however. In a handwritten letter dating to May 1956, Donald identified himself as Louis Charles, the short-lived Louis XVII of France, who is rumored to have escaped captivity during the French Revolution.
Ha-ha!
At the end of the day, you're another day colder. Sorry. Sorry, Les Mis. French Revolution.
I knew what it was, yes.
So rather than dying as a prisoner at the age of 10, as was later proved.
Okay, so it was proved he was dying at 10?
According to this.
Okay, well, that explains why he was obsessed with the 15-year-old girl. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That kid was right about that age where he's just like, I'm going to light a fire. I don't know what to do. I'm so frustrated.
Oh, and from
puberty, and I'm angry, and there's a French Revolution.
And he's like obsessed with her because, back then he's already like, oh, you're already too old.
No, I do
kidding.
not think. He's like, oh man, I saw your ankles, and now I'm all sweaty.
So Donald, or Louis XVII, used a number of elaborate French phrases in his letter and claimed that he had drowned en route to exile in England. His story, however fascinating, was often changing and contradictory. So it could just be a demon, too. Because demons are known to just lie. They always... I always say, like if you're using an Ouija board and they claim to be a family member or something like that, that is a motherfucking demon lying.
But also, if it is a ghost, just to play devil's advocate here, there are people out there who are just liars. So why, if you died, maybe you are literally a dude who just lied about everything. A pathological
just like a
liar.
drunk ghost.
Yeah, he's just
like, what if you die when you're drunk and you get to stay drunk as a ghost? You're just like, I'm Louis XVII.
That happened once again to the show Ghosts, man. There's a character named Flower who is a hippie who's high the entire time.
So that's cool. So right before I die, get me real drunk, Joe. That way I can just be drunk ghost. Like, hey guys.
Well, since I don't know exactly when you're gonna die, the best case scenario is we get an airtight contract where I won't get in trouble. We wait till you're a certain age, and then I get you drunk and then kill you.
Well, or we just have a pact that, like, when I'm on the deathbed, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, Ryan, no, we can't take that risk. I'm gonna have to kill you.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Well, I will haunt you well.
That was part of the deal. You asked for this.
Well, I'm gonna haunt you a little bit.
I only
I'll
like,
help.
Oh.
I'll help. I'll do dishes sometimes. But then I might drop
Yeah,
one.
why the hell aren't ghosts ever helpful? You could
I don't
throw
know.
a clock across the room, but you can't pick up some blocks every now and again that my kid left out. Jeez, Donald.
Back to
Donald.
Speaking of Donald, Shirley married and left her parents' house in 1965, which by which time Donald's presence was waning. In 1967, she left London altogether, and by 1968, it appeared that Donald had finally gone for good. There are many who propose scientific explanations for the strange goings-on, with some point to the noises coming from the house being located on uneasy marshland, while others have suggested that acid in the oil could have led to madness. The family cat.
I know they're not talking about like acid, but that's like what acid in the oil? The
I guess
oil
like
what?
if they're living on marshland, maybe it's like
So acid in the
produces-
oil in the land, or like they were using oil to light lamps? Like just as
noxious
oil.
fumes from the soil, I guess.
Huh. Don't live in a swamp, people.
We built it and then it fell into the swamp. So we built another one and then that one fell into the swamp. But the third, the family cat named Jeremy, after Jeremy Spencer, which was who, remember the ghost asked for specifically,
Yeah.
even
They
ended up
got him a cat. They're like, here, this is fucking Jeremy Spencer.
even ended up being analyzed by fans desperate to prove Donald's existence.
Oh, man.
Others point to Shirley being a starry-eyed but ultimately bored teenager who lived in a rather sheltered life and may have manufactured Donald and drawn others in as a means of attracting attention to herself and making demands that would work to her advantage. But these accusations are only speculation.
Yeah.
Over the 12-year course of the haunting, some 3,000 to 4,000 written messages were delivered to the family from Donald, with a staggering 60 messages being left per day at the height of the case.
I mean, that's a lot of commitment if it's a hoax.
That's insane.
Like,
Someone would have caught her.
Like, that is just taking a lot of time out of your freaking day.
That I agree. That
I
was
have
where
a hard time, like,
Yeah.
doing these show notes.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like literally, like that's where it doesn't make sense to me. Like they would have caught her because by this time the family had to be a little suspicious, right? So they're going to be keeping an eye on her. On
Donald
Shirley.
says you should buy me a horse.
right,
Like,
right,
wait,
right.
hold on. Wait, why does the ghost say you should have a horse? I don't know. He's a ghost. Just give me the damn horse.
Shirley, you have a horse. I do have a
Oh.
horse, but don't call me Shirley.
But her name is Shirley.
Some handwriting experts have analyzed the letters and concluded that they were almost certainly written by Shirley, but this has never been proven.
Ha ha! Speculation.
Through these letters and the attention they drew, Shirley was able to move out of her shared room with her apartment with her parents, was given money for clothes and more fashionable hairstyles, and was subject of much press hysteria. The original haunted house was demolished in the late 1960s and never replaced.
And Donald faded away.
What
Because
is-
apparently that's the new rule.
He's free. However, this is still has a profound impact that the events had. Oh my goodness! Let me say that
you're
again.
gonna have to try that.
What is clear, however, is the profound impact that the events had upon Shirley, who stated that the haunting robbed her of her childhood.
Oh, robbed you of your childhood. I mean, you moved out, you had fame, you got a lot of things. Look, famous kids are always robbed of childhood. It's just the way it is.
I mean, yeah, suck it up, Buttercup.
I'm just saying.
So it says here that to finish this off, whether a real malevolent spirit, figment of an overactive imagination, or a mass projection of fear, the case of the Battersea Poltergeist will continue to fascinate paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics for many years to come. I mean, I could see how that would definitely kind of ruin your childhood because you're waking up every day to some dead French prince who's leaving
Like
notes.
This little 10-year-old.
Who's leaving
I
notes
want
like,
you to wear blue today.
yeah, like, yeah, dude. Like, that's weird. Like, I don't know about you. I don't wake up to strange ghosts telling me to dress a certain way. It seems a little pervy.
Ryan, put a ribbon in your hair.
Okay.
Tie it like the way I like.
I don't even know. I'll do my best.
Not that.
Okay.
Not. I don't know enough
Okay.
about knots. You should have started this bit because you're
Is
Eagle
this
Scout.
good?
Do you know knots?
Hold on. Honestly, that was like my worst subject.
You didn't know knots.
I
Ryan,
don't know knots.
the one thing you're supposed to do as an Eagle Scout is knots.
I could do bowline
You
and square knot.
are. All right, you win this round.
There you go. I got 2.
Okay,
Sheep
guys.
shank.
What?
Sheep shank. That's another. It's a locking knot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so this joke has run dry, but to be fair, you do know more about knots than I had given you credit for. So, congratulations, bud. And let's move on to our next topic, which is all about aliens, and that, of course, is
Disclosure discussion. Ha 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 ha. It's about aliens and stuff.
Secretly shot UFO documentary will drop the biggest discovery in human history.
That's a bold claim. Can they back it up?
This comes to us from theexpress.com. An upcoming UFO documentary, The Age of Disclosure. The Age of the Disclosure.
Aha.
Is set to be the most well-sourced and credible documentary ever made about the UFO phenomena. A forthcoming UFO documentary shot in secrecy is claiming it will unveil the biggest discovery in human history. Soothsayer Baba Vanga predicted this is the year we will make contact with alien life, which may come true as UFO sightings are gaining momentum. The film, entitled The Age of the Disclosure, is said to be the most credible and well-sourced documentary ever made about extraterrestrial activity. The documentary includes information from recently declassified government documents regarding UFO programs. It includes interviews with 34 former and current high-ranking figures from the U.S. government, military, and intelligence community, all of whom have first-hand knowledge of unidentified aerial phenomena, reports the Daily Star.
I mean, that's great and all, but we've had a lot of these congressional hearings, and a lot of times we just hear, I can't talk about that at this time. So it's wonderful we have all these witnesses, but are they going to drop the bomb of being like, no, here's some stuff you didn't know? Or are we just going to hear a lot of, I can't say that at this time?
Yeah, that's been like the unfortunate thing about it. It's good we're talking about it, but it doesn't seem to get anywhere.
Well, there's just a lot of people still afraid to talk, and I get it. If the government says, if you say this, we will kill you, well, then you probably shouldn't say it. I'm not pushing you otherwise. I just want to hear some real information.
No, I agree, and it just doesn't make sense. I mean, he's already, he's already on the crosshairs there. They've already got him in their sight, so it's like, just what do you got to lose, man? You sat in front of Congress like half these people for half these hearings,
Oh, there's always an argument to be made. It's hard to be shot during the day. So if you're in the public eye, you're more safe than not. I don't know if it's true, but that's kind of an idea of thought. I don't know.
So this is directed by Dan Farah. The documentary suggests that there is an 80-year concealment of non-human intelligent life. The documentary also alludes to a clandestine global race to reverse engineer UFO technology with the aim of becoming the world's ultimate superpower.
That
which
makes
you
sense.
would. You would.
Absolutely.
Among those interviewed is the recently confirmed Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, who reveals in the teaser trailer that even presidents are operating on a need-to-know basis when it comes to this topic. Other notable participants include New York Senator Kristen Gillibrand, Luis Elizondo, former Department of Defense official and member of the government's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program.
Yeah, Luis Elizondo he's the biggest name out there right now.
Yeah,
I feel like every science channel or history channel show about aliens has interviews with him, or he's the executive producer on it.
Was that the dude who looks like a football coach? This guy does it? He does to me.
Yeah, in that image, he does look like a football coach. Fair enough.
So it also includes Senator Mike Rounds, Jay Stratton, former director of the U.S. government's UAP task force, General Jim Clapper, former director of national intelligence, Mike Gold of NASA UAP study team member, and Admiral Tim Gallaudet, former Navy chief oceanographer. So
Huh.
a little bit USOs.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And janitor Lenny McNabb.
Lenny believes in this company.
Yeah, exactly.
The filmmakers are billing the documentary as a potentially historic revelation about extraterrestrial life. Gosh, they're making me so hopeful, but like
I know, but it's like they're saying potentially. Like that's the thing. It's like, all right, so you're gonna show me a picture of Bigfoot, or are you not gonna show? And I don't mean Bigfoot, I mean aliens. But I'm just saying, like, are you gonna show me this, or are you not?
It's like we are going to show you in like 1/100,000th of a frame a picture of an alien. Here you go. Ready? All right. Did you see it? Cool. There you go.
Yeah. No, it is funny because I'm always when it comes to these documentaries and it comes to these shows, I love the information, I love the speculation, but I always get annoyed when they are like we're solving it because they don't. There's a show called Searching for Bigfoot. There's 9 seasons. Let me tell you, Ryan, they have not found Bigfoot yet.
I want to say, and I saw there was another documentary about Bigfoot that like kind of just ended up really sounding by the end like a sad story about a guy who kind of like wasted his life. He literally lives in the woods because he's just looking for Bigfoot every day.
I think Bigfoot's out there, but I don't think you should make a show where your whole premise is we're gonna find Bigfoot, because
you're not gonna find it. You're probably not gonna find it.
Even if you do find Bigfoot, like, you know what? I will watch the show that ends up being 4 episodes because they're like, oh fuck, there he is. I guess we're done. Like, show's over. We figured it out, guys.
Okay, so
anyways, back to aliens.
The documentary's official description touts significant government collaboration, which reads, the film was granted unprecedented access and support from senior members of the U.S. government, military, and intelligence community. It adds, everyone interviewed in the film has direct knowledge of UAP as a result of their work for the U.S. government. The film exposes the profound impact the situation has on the future of humanity, while providing a look beyond the scenes with those at the forefront of the bipartisan disclosure effort.
Well, all jokes aside, it's just impressive there's any kind of bipartisan cooperation happening. So there you go. That's nice.
It's a start.
And as far as the whole documentary is, I'm not gonna lie, I'm interested. I think they're making some bold claims, but I will watch this, and I hope they do give me some information I don't already have. And considering, we do this pretty much all the time, we find a lot of stories and we do a lot of research. So I'll be surprised if they have some new information for me. I'm eager to see if they can pull it off.
Me too. I hope they go like real original with it,
Yeah, I want to find something strange, something new, something weird, Ryan.
Ooh, I like weird shit.
Well, then you're gonna like our next segment.
Real World Weird.
Alligators in the sewer. City workers find out the myth is true.
Sire, tell the peasants, don't go in the frickin' sewer.
This comes to us from nypost.com. New York might not have those infamous alligators in the sewer, but Florida has the real thing. Leave it to Florida.
Yeah, not surprising, actually.
A work crew in Oviedo, Florida, proved the NYC urban legend was a Sunshine State reality after discovering a 5-foot alligator residing in a sludge-filled pipe.
It's not a small alligator.
Footage of the scaly subterranean terror is currently stirring up the internet. And we got the picture right here. There he is, just chilling.
Yeah.
A public works team had dispatched a robot equipped with a camera to get to the root of why a cluster of craters kept appearing on the road above. According to a Jam Press report, the workers soon found something far more terrifying lurking beneath the surface. On Friday's inspection, they came across a 5-foot alligator, the city organization exclaimed in the now viral post. The mortifying moment was captured in video footage that recalled the enduring big city myth that inspired the 1980 B movie Alligator. In the freaky POV footage, the camera can be seen approaching a pair of what appear to be shining lights at the end of the tunnel. In a scene straight out of a found footage
it'd be like
horror
its
flick.
eyes.
Yeah, when the droid gets within snapping distance, the beast rears up with its mouth open, revealing itself to be an American alligator.
Like, I mean, it wouldn't really make you jump because it's a robot, right? So you're watching it on the screen, but it would still be like, oh my God, that's like, you'd be questioning it the whole time. Like, that can't be.
Like, how did you get there?
Oh.
The perturbed predator continues to back away with its maw agape before turning tail and ambling down the tunnel. Like that, the vision of ambling down the tunnel with the droid in hot pursuit. The underground gator golf session ends with the robot getting stuck in an indentation as AI disappears back into its subterranean lair.
Yeah. All that is very believable to me. That there's a, like, it would be funnier if it was like, there's an alligator in the Denver sewers. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm interested in that.
Right.
Yeah. But it is weird. It is weird to think of like of animals living in the sewers, but in New York, they have like whole communities of homeless people, apparently, like mole people living in the sewers, man.
I could see it. I could definitely
I shouldn't
see
say
that.
sewers. In New York, it would be the abandoned subway stations.
Right. No, I could see that. I went to New York City for the first time last year, and it's wild. It's wild. It's everything you see in the movies, man. That place is crazy. I
Would
had a
you live
blast.
underground?
No.
No? Like,
don't
what
think
if you
so.
had to?
Well, if I had to, I
Well,
would.
I mean, it's like either it's Fallout or what if we're in such a dystopian future that for whatever reason you're at the wrong end of society and you have to hide like in the tunnels. Now, is that, or you could be like part of like a slave working class. Now, which one's better? On run for your entire life in secret hidden tunnels, or, I guess just being really mistreated working class.
I'm going to go ahead.
We won't go as far as saying slave, but pretty much.
I'm going to go ahead and say that I guess I'll take my chances with the tunnels.
But you can never see sunlight. You have to live in the dark. You have to almost be like a straight up mole person. Or, to be clear, you can totally organize a whole rebellion and stuff. That you can do that. You could be the chosen one if you want. That's fine.
I'll just become a Falmer.
What?
A Falmer.
I
It's
don't-
the underground elves from Skyrim that they live underground, so they become blind, but they're super sensitive. They can hear you.
I was thinking of like Chud, but
Yeah.
yours is probably more topical.
Falmer.
Oh man. Well, guys, we're going to jump into a segment we haven't done in a while, and that is space and so on.
When our planets align. This comes to us from CNET.com. 2025 is starting off with a bang for skygazers with a planet parade, now visible in the night sky. A planet parade is when several of our solar system's planets are visible in the night sky at the same time. There will be 6 planets visible this time around, including Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus.
Thought we were going to make a joke, didn't you?
The 6 planets are visible now and will remain so until late February. Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn should be visible to the naked eye. You'll need a high-powered viewing device like a telescope to spot Neptune and Uranus. The best time to view the planets from the northern hemisphere will be just after sunset at around 8:30 p.m. local time. You still might be able to catch Venus, Saturn, and Neptune on the horizon after that, but all 3 planets will be under the horizon by 11:30 p.m. to midnight, depending on your location. After that, Mars, Jupiter, and Uranus will remain visible for a few more hours, with Mars finally setting just before the sunrise. Unlike prior parades, this one is set to last quite a while, since the planets are in advantageous spots in the sky. You should be able to see all 6 planets nightly until the last week or so of February. So you got all month to check this out. After that, the 7-planet parade will begin, as Mercury will briefly join the others in the sky for a couple of days, turning this into a planetary parade of all 7 planets in our solar system other than Earth.
So if you want to see that, you only got a few day window.
Yeah, it will be difficult to see them all since Saturn, Mercury, and Neptune will be quite close to the sun right at sunset, but they will be there.
All right. You said you tried this with a stargazing app, didn't you?
Yeah, it was just the other day. I think I was in LA and I was like, I turned it on and I was like, because I always see Jupiter and stuff. So I was looking and I heard about this coming up and I was able to just pan down, straight down and catch all of the planets like through the Earth. You know what I mean? I couldn't see them in the sky, but I could see they were all in a line. It was
Yeah.
it was cool.
That is really cool. I mean, the reason why we're covering it is because how many movies, whether it's fantasy or sci-fi, it's like, when the planets align,
Yep.
the legend will be fulfilled.
So perhaps it's an omen or some sort.
Hopefully a good omen, Ryan.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
So by the time March gets underway, Mercury, Saturn, and Neptune will have drifted too close to the sun to be readily visible, with Venus not far behind, leaving Jupiter, Mars, and Uranus to populate the night sky until the next parade begins.
I do like how they call it a planet parade.
Yeah.
I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I don't know why they couldn't have workshopped that for about 5 more minutes, but yeah, it's a planet parade, right?
It's Planet Parade.
Planet parade.
Yeah, to make it in a way that people understand.
Yes.
Calling all comic fans, it's time to feed your brain at Green Brain Comics, where the freshest new issues, graphic novels, and manga hit the shelves every week. Whether you're looking for the hottest new series or the latest small press sensation, we've got it all. Every genre for every age, Green Brain Comics is your one-stop shop for all things graphic storytelling. Got questions? Our friendly staff knows their stuff. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the world of comics, we've got recommendations that'll keep you coming back for more. And don't forget to check out our special events. Green Brain Comics is not just a store, it's a community. Located in East Downtown Dearborn, we are at Green Brain Comics on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Shop online at greenbraincomics.com and remember to feed your brain at Green Brain Comics.
Earthling Entertainment Special Report 1.
Sonic the Hedgehog 4 hits theaters on March 19, 2027. 2. A new Labyrinth film is coming from TriStar Pictures. The Witch and Nosferatu filmmaker Robert Eggers is set to write and direct. 3. HBO's upcoming Green Lantern series titled Lanterns has cast their villain Sinestro. Danish actor Ulrich Thompson will take on the mantle.
Earthling Entertainment Special Report.
Special
You're
report.
welcome. It's true, you made it through to the second half of the show.
It's the last show of the month, and that means it's a Tattered Tales audio short episode. And today's audio short is called "My Story Will Be Told." It's a lot of fun. I wrote it, so I think it's amazing. I'm just saying. We have a few characters here. Ryan, read off the cast real quick.
So it looks like we've got Zach Canton, we've got Astrid Flack, Michael J. Renda, Stephen Thrasher, and Joe Wakefield.
That's right. And of course, this is all the audio post for this short is done by Luke Fisher and executive produced by Lizzie Anna Wakefield.
And Rick Lugg.
So yeah, guys, we hope you enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It is kind of a fantasy story warrior. I don't want to give anything away, but enjoy.
Tattered Tales.
I found my purpose. My whole life, I've been wondering where my place is among the tribe, among my people. I just wish it wasn't at such great cost. My name is Slip Mins, and this is my story. You see, the world that I live in is a dangerous one. Beasts and giants lurk everywhere. Some of them hunt at night, like the great would go to. It's said that monster comes from out of the sky like a shadow demon, crossing into the mortal plane. There are even tales of it being able to turn its head 360 degrees in order to find you with its night vision eyes. But those are just stories, you know? Kid stuff. I've personally never seen one, but the tribe elders insist on its existence. The Rogotu aside, monsters are very real. Despite the fact we haven't had one in these parts for generations, a Xenorp has made its way into our territory. A fearsome creature with razor-sharp claws and the ability to jump 10 times the height even our best hunters can achieve. It's covered in fur and has... Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to tell you more about my world. The first thing you have to understand is, we are far from the rulers of this planet. We don't conquer, we survive. I sometimes wonder what we could achieve if we didn't face such surmountable circumstances. No matter, we are who we are. And I love my people. I love my tribe. I love my family. I love my children. I'm a scrapper, or a scavenger, whichever definition you prefer. It's my job to leave the safety of Dead Cave and head out into the wilds to bring back food or any other useful materials I can find. You see, we don't create things. We use what has already been created. Tools, building supplies, you get the gist. But I've always known I was meant for something greater. I just had no idea what it was. Until now. This idea first struck me when I was an adolescent. I was out in the wild with my Uncle Nurup during one of my first learning retreats. Everything was going fine at first until suddenly the ground began to shake. It was like an earthquake, only the tremors were coming in the rhythm of a heartbeat. Boom, boom, boom. It's then that I first laid eyes on a giant. It was the strangest, most magnificent sight I had ever seen. If everyone in my tribe stood on each other's shoulders, they may not even match the towering god moseying past us like a force of pure nature. I hesitate to call the giants gods, but that's what they are. We have no idea how long they live, or even if they can die. The giant I saw that day may very well be the same one my great-great-great-grandfather saw in his time. At the very least, the giants possess the powers of a god. They don't seem to need to obey the laws of nature. No, nature bows to them. They can bring floods when the sun is still shining. They can mow down entire valleys. They can move the earth, creating new hills and canyons simply because they want to. Or perhaps there's some other divine reason. Honestly, who knows? They probably look at my people like vermin, if they pay attention to us at all. Sorry. My wife told me I needed to quit being so much of a cynic. To be honest, I'm not sure how she's made it this long being the optimist. Anyway, where was I? Right. So how is it we coexist in this crazy world with a bunch of monsters and giant gods? Well, we hide. There's definitely a lot of hiding going on. I'm not a big fan of that, but there you have it. The truth is, my tribe is luckier than most. We have a home, shelter, a wonderful place to settle. Dead Cave. We call it that because it's an artificial structure made from dead plant matter. The gods created it long ago for some unknown reason. Luckily, they hardly ever roam into Dead Cave. Might only be 5 or 6 times in a lifetime. I've only seen it happen 3 times myself. I always assumed the gods originally created this place to be a home or shelter from the elements. I've had a lot of debates with the elders about this. They claim it makes no sense that the giants would move on, considering Dead Cave is still a perfectly suitable superstructure. Only my tribe lives here, but there's room for dozens more. My argument has always been that the giants do live in a much larger and ornate structure, also made from the trunk of a giant granite plant, only half a day's journey west. We've never come to a consensus. I assume until one of us comes up with some solid proof, it'll continue to be labeled a mystery. This inquisitive tendency of mine is part of what sets me aside from the rest of the tribe. I question too much. Honestly, I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I know it's a lonely thing. Do you know how it feels to never be comfortable among your own people? Or to feel unsatisfied with the state of the world you were born in? I'm telling you all of this because I don't want you to judge me for feeling exhilarated, maybe even excited about my newfound purpose. The event that solidified my belief in destiny arrived like death itself just last night. My wife and I were getting ready for bed. The kids were already asleep when suddenly we heard screaming from one of the guards outside. I'm not sure what came over me. Instinctively, I ran outside to see if I could help.
Get out! Help!
It was dark. At first, all I could see was the guard running straight for camp. He was just about to hit the border when he was torn back into the shadows by a fur-covered claw. The beast, the Xenorp. From that point on, everything happened like a lightning strike. All I could see was fur and blood as the Xenorp ripped through my home, destroying lodgings, communal areas, and worst of all, devouring my fellow tribesmen. The screams of my loved ones became an eclectic cacophony of sound. So horrific it was impossible to determine who was contributing to it. Although, I am certain Grandmaster Mishnar is dead. I saw it with my own eyes. The Xenorp swept its long arm across the battlefield, impaling Mishnar through the midsection from his back. He was then pulled into the Xenorp's jaws, head first.
No! No!
I remember in that moment praying that the beast would swallow him whole. But the Creator had other plans. That damned Xenorp brought its mighty teeth down onto Grandmaster Mishnar's neck, severing it almost instantly. A fountain of blood rushes to flee the prison of life through the stump that sits upon that poor man's shoulders.
You bastard! You bastard!
Next thing I knew, I woke up, and it was dawn. I'm told I was found under a pile of rubble that used to be the home of Elder Jihario. It took them a few minutes to dig me out. I was just happy I didn't pass out from sheer fright. Unlike so many others, I walked away with only a bump on my head. The remaining elders proclaimed my survival a miracle. That Perhaps I was chosen by the Creator to liberate our tribe from this formidable threat. I didn't have the heart to tell them the reason I survived had nothing to do with religion, but sheer luck. A long piece of metal fell in such a way that it didn't crush me, while simultaneously creating a barrier protecting me from the other debris. A simple piece of metal. Then it hit me. This simple piece of metal is pure steel. I could easily use it as a spear to kill the Xenorp. This may not seem like a significant event to you, but as of yet, my people have been unable to master any form of metallurgy. To come across a spear of pure steel is unheard of. They're usually only found lodged deep in the walls of dead cave. No, this was more than luck. This spear was the answer. Maybe the Creator does have a plan for me. After some much-needed rest, I headed off to face the beast and to claim my destiny as a great savior of my people. It didn't take me long to track it down. The foolish creature was lying out in the open on a bed of hay. I guess when you believe nothing can touch you, you get to enjoy the luxury of feeling safe. Safety. Security. Something none of my people have ever been able to enjoy. That ends today. I crawl towards the Xenorp with my belly as low to the ground as possible, in an attempt to remain undetected. It would be impossible for me to take it down face to face. Not even my mighty spear would save me in that scenario. But if I use the element of surprise, I just might have a chance. The beast's overconfidence will be its undoing. It will not expect my strike. I only pray I can do some damage before it realizes what's happening. I'm so close now. Only inches away. It's now or never. Without another second of hesitation, I drive my spear down right into the beast's back claw. All I feel is the resistance of dirt. I realize my mistake. Stupid slip mins, you missed! You've gone between the toes! Fool! Suddenly I'm launched sideways into the air. There's pain, but only blunt force pain. No lacerations, no blood has been drawn. I hit the ground with a skid. The pain is almost overwhelming, but I still managed to get to my feet. That's when the Xenorp and my eyes met. A mutual understanding became clear as we look on into oblivion. Only one of us is walking away from this. While the beast fights for himself, I fight for my family, my tribe, and the rest of my people beyond Dead Cave. Who knows? Today may even spawn a legend that future generations will use to inspire our people to stand together and create a better world for ourselves. The Xenorp is about to attack. It crouches its head low while propping up its hindquarters. It's about to pounce. I quickly look around my surroundings, trying desperately to find my spear. It's lying on the ground nearby. I waste no more time. I dive for it and grab the spear. By the time I turn around, the sun has already been blotted out by the enormous creature about to land on top of me. I point my spear up, driving the end into the ground for support. Suddenly, the creature smashes on top of me, impaling itself in the process. I don't get the chance to check myself for injuries before the Xenorp jumps off of me in pain. The monster squeals. It's stunned. Now is my chance. I grab my spear and run as fast as I can towards the creature. His claw rushes down on top of me, stabbing into my arm. My flesh is hooked as the creature lifts me up off of the ground. It begins to bring me toward its massive jaws. I have no idea what else to do, so I spit in the B-side defiantly. Next thing I know, I'm thrown to the ground while the Xenorp tries to paw the bloody liquid from its face. Again, I look for my spear. It's lying nearby. I can reach it, but by the time I do, it becomes clear that I am no longer able to lift it with both my arms. The damn thing is simply too large to wield with one hand. I look over to my dominant arm. It's been torn to shreds. Even if I win the day, the chance of dying from blood loss is too real. Suddenly it dawns on me. A horrific idea. One devised from both desperation and lunacy. If I can't hold the weapon, then I will become the weapon. I stick the end of the spear into the ground. Using my own body weight, I collapse onto it, driving it through my emaciated arm and partially out of my wrist. My flesh has now become the hilt for this holy weapon that will deliver my people from the Xenorp. The beast turns to me and screams. I scream back. We run towards each other. When we meet, it's clear the creature's plan is to devour me. But I will not go quietly into the night. I swiftly dodge a few of its attacks. But my luck does not hold out. And the monster finally catches me. The Xenorp bites down on my midsection, lifts me into the air. I can no longer feel my legs. I hear a loud, crunching sound. My bones snap from inside the monster's mouth. If I'm going to die today, then I'm taking this thing with me. With all my might, I drive my spear on forward, puncturing the creature's eye. It screams, freeing my body from its jaws in the process. I now find myself dangling from the creature's face, being held there by my spear arm, still embedded in the monster's eye. I'm suddenly thrown back and forth as the Xenorp shakes its head, desperately trying to free the blade. With my left hand, I reach out and grab some fur from the creature's face. I pull myself in close while simultaneously driving my spear arm deeper into the skull of my enemy. The beast whips its head one final time. That's all it took. What remains of my mutilated arm ripped free, throwing me far from the Xenorp, leaving the spear embedded in its head. A final death cry escapes the dying monstrosity. Finally, the Xenorp collapses to the ground, dead. And soon I will join him. There's only one thing left to do. With the last of my strength, I stumble in the direction of my home. I know I won't make it. But hopefully I can get close enough that someone will find me. Then I might be laid to rest properly. Despite my will to go on, I collapse only a few feet from my kill. It looks like the gods have arrived to see me off. In a way, it's kind of nice to get to look upon them one last time before I pass. As I close my eyes and begin to drift away, I can faintly hear the gods speaking in their strange, indecipherable language. Soon, I will be gone. But it's okay. Because of me, my people will have peace for a time. I can die happy, knowing my story will be told. And I will not be forgotten.
What happened to Snowball?
Judy? Judy, what's wrong?
Daddy, someone killed Snowball. Look, there's a nail in his eye.
Sweet Jesus. Who would do this to a cat? It's okay, honey. We'll get another kitty soon. Wow, there are some sick people living in this town. Oh, hell, I'm never gonna get rid of these rats.
Well, this is a really sad one, guys.
Remember that guy? Remember that gal? Well, now they're dead.
Perry, the real-life donkey who inspired iconic Shrek character, dies at 30. This comes to us from abc7ny.com. In an Instagram post, BP Donkeys wrote on Friday, "We are heartbroken to share that our beloved Barron Park donkey Perry passed away yesterday at the age of 30. He was a beloved member of the BP donkey community, and we know how many people will be touched by his passing. Memorial plans will be announced soon. The animal was, of course, most recognizable as the model for the character Donkey in the Shrek franchise.
Oh,
Perry resided at Cornelius Ball Park in Palo Alto, California, and served as a support animal. Paying for his care and for the other donkeys slowly became a point of controversy over time. The city faced a budget deficit last year. A city council member pushed back at paying tens of thousands of dollars. A memorial will be held for Perry at a later date." Man, he really stirred it up over there.
I guess so, but now that he's dead, that council member's gonna just tear that program down. They're like, you no longer have your donkey.
Oh, no,
Now
donkey.
the other animals are gonna pay because you don't have your donkey protector. I don't know. It seemed like a weird one to cover. I just thought it was fun. It's kind of it was like when there was a German Shepherd who died, and it was the model for dog meat from Fallout 4.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it just feels like when there's when there's a dog celebrity who dies or an animal celebrity, we're gonna cover it, Ryan.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right,
if they're
we will.
the model of all the guinea pigs from G-Force, when they die.
That's right.
Oh wait, that was. Oh my God, Ryan! All those
They're-
guinea pigs are dead.
They're all dead.
Oh no.
They're gone.
Oh. Earthling Entertainment headlines.
Doctor Strange won't be involved in Avengers Doomsday.
Interesting.
This comes to us from IGN.com. Benedict Cumberbatch has said his Marvel Cinematic Universe character Doctor Strange is skipping the next big up in Avengers Doomsday, but will play a central role in its sequel, Avengers Secret Wars.
That's not actually that weird. If anyone who remembers right, Ant-Man was not in Avengers Infinity War and then suddenly was a big part of Endgame. So they have done this before.
That's true. That's true. Speaking to Variety, Cumberbatch said, "Fuck it," after realizing he dropped a spoiler and divulged more about his character's role in the upcoming films. "He's quite central to where things might go," he said before revealing there's a third standalone Doctor Strange plan too. Ooh, I didn't know that.
Makes sense, man. They like to go in threes. With the exception of Thor, they usually do threes.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess Captain America now too.
Yeah.
Although since we changed Captain America, it's almost like its own thing. Depends.
Yeah.
If we have 3 Anthony Mackie ones, I think that'll make sense.
I don't know. He's like Captain Falcon. You know, like he's like
No, he's Captain America.
but he's still got the wings.
He does still have the wings, yes.
They are very open to discussing where we go next, Cumberbatch said. Who do you want to write and direct the next one? What part of the comic lore do you want to explore so that Strange can keep evolving? He's a very rich character to play. He's a complex, contradictory, troubled human who's got these extraordinary abilities, so there's potent stuff to mess about with.
I mean, it's true. The character's been around since like the 60s, so you have like decades of material and stories.
Yeah, yeah. And he's like, in my opinion, he's kind of like the Superman of Marvel. He can like do anything. As for his skipping Avengers Doomsday, Cumberbatch said it's because of the character not aligning with this part of the story. This next Avengers film stars Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, and reportedly Chris Evans too, though very little else is known about it as of yet. Former Avengers directors, the Russo brothers are leading the film, though, and it will be seemingly continue the multiverse shenanigans with Haley Atwell's Agent Carter, also reportedly set to appear. Avengers Secret Wars launches May 7th, 2027.
All right. I'm excited for it. What do you think, man?
I'm always excited for a new Marvel film that
The big event films are fun. The ones that bring in
Yes.
all the characters.
I still watch. I just watched Civil War the other day. That movie's so good. Like,
It is good.
yeah, like and that was technically a Captain America movie, I believe.
Yeah, it was Captain America 3. But it makes sense that they're leaving out a few characters. They had I think they reported there's going to be like 70 characters. So it's like you can't use them all. And like you mentioned, Doctor Strange is a bit overpowered. He can solve almost any problem.
Pretty
so,
much.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense, you know what I mean? That he would have to sit this one out because we don't need him just like coming in like Captain Marvel just destroying the ship. Like, where have you been?
What have you been doing? Yeah, I've been out.
Like, yeah,
All
this
right,
planet is lucky to have you. Yeah, that was a good speech.
That was a good speech. I mean, any franchise that lasts that long is impressive. The Godzilla franchise, which started with the 2014 Gareth Edwards, I believe it was Gareth Edwards, film Godzilla, that's still going strong.
Mhm.
And that surprised the heck out of me. I mean, they have 5 installments and they just keep going strong. We just got news about the next one.
Yep. Caitlin Dever to star in Godzilla X Kong sequel. This comes to us from Nerdist.com. Actress Caitlin Dever is about to debut in HBO's The Last of Us as Abby Anderson, fighting off both infected clickers and Ellie alike. But it looks like after that, she'll set her sights on something a whole lot larger. According to Deadline, Dever will join the cast of Legendary's MonsterVerse follow-up to Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. While the giant ape and the behemoth lizard are always the stars of those movies, not to mention others like Mothra, the list of human cast members are just as impressive.
That's true. They always do have a lot of really good cast members. I think it was Godzilla King of the Monsters. Millie Bobby Brown was in that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm behind on these, man. Like I remember I saw like Skull Island and I saw the Godzilla movie. I know Godzilla -1 was kind of its own thing, but I saw that. That was sweet.
To be fair, Godzilla -1 was a prequel to the Godzilla movies in Japan that are made by
Yeah.
Toho.
Mhm.
So long story short, this is the order. It's Godzilla, then it's Kong Skull Island,
Yeah.
then it's Godzilla King of the Monsters, then I think it's Godzilla vs Kong, and then I think it's Godzilla X Kong, and then this is going to be the sequel to that.
That's cool. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's sweet. My kids love it. Kids love it. I'm glad that
I mean, who doesn't like monsters just beating the crap out of each other?
right?
A lot of fun. They also have an Apple TV show where Kurt Russell's in it, and it's called Monarch, and it's about the god. It takes place in this film franchise.
Oh, that's sweet. I didn't know that.
Headline number 3.
Doom: The Dark Ages. Release date announced.
Finally,
This comes to us from Rumorg.com. Unveiled last June during the Xbox showcase as part of Summer Game Fest 2024. A Doom: The Dark Ages trailer revealed that the next iteration of the genre-defining FPS was near completion. Now, a release date has been announced as part of Xbox's January 23rd Developer Direct, with the game slated to land on Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5,
woo!
and PC on May 15th. Doom: The Dark Ages will function as a prequel to the critically acclaimed 2016 Doom reboot, seeing the Doom Slayer flay and spray across a medieval backdrop etched with the Hell Mars aesthetic synonymous with the series. Early gameplay footage and dev diaries divulged that the third entry in the near decade-long reimagined canon will return to the franchise's grounded roots, tossing aside the aerial stylings of a fleet-footed Slayer from 2020's Doom Eternal. While previous games were all about guns, Doom: The Dark Ages seemingly prefers a melee attack system, most prolific of which is the new Shield Saw.
Which I imagine is a shield with a chainsaw that goes around the edges. Very cool.
Very cool. Doubling as an up-close and personal method of dispatch and as a projectile for long-range attacks. The Shield Saw will head up an assortment of close-range instruments of destruction that also include a flail, spiked mace, or electrified gauntlet. Going a little Fallout there.
I love it.
To make the game as accessible as possible, Doom: The Dark Ages is preferred with varying adjustable sliders to modify elements of gameplay difficulty. Base game and physical collector editions are currently available for pre-order. And as the game's developer, ID Software is now a Microsoft-owned studio, Doom: The Dark Ages will be a day one release to Game Pass subscribers. So that means I can play it.
Yeah, fantastic. And so I like Doom. Do you like Doom? It's a first-person shooter. One of the first-person shooters.
I remember the original Doom on my computer watching my brother play it, my dad play it. My dad would always play Wolfenstein, that really old
they take
old
place
one.
in the same universe.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, Wolfenstein is a prequel to Doom, essentially.
That's really cool. I did not know that. But I mean, they're so similar to me. So I mean, I don't think I've ever actually played Doom, but I've watched it being played so many times.
I think you might like this new one, though. It has the whole heavy metal aesthetic.
Very cool. Well, yeah, I love that. And I know that they did that before, where they took in a bunch of death metal singers from like around the country to have like a chorus of like 200 death metal singers like doing like the music for Doom, I believe.
Oh my God, that sounds pretty cool.
I'll have to find that article for next week.
Well, unfortunately, guys, that brings us to the end of the show. And if it feels like we were rushing a little bit at the end, you're not wrong. So what happened was my kid is asleep in the other room, and his sitter was unable to watch him today. And he woke up right before we started recording headlines. No, it was before Welp, Now They're Dead.
Yep.
So I've been doing everything I can to speed up the show the last few minutes, and I just figured I wanted to address it. It's not your imagination. We may have been rushing a bit at the end.
But hey, thanks for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Tattered Tales today.
Oh yeah, that one's a lot of fun. I'm sorry. I love the fact that he made a spear by like shoving it through his arm.
Yes.
And it was grotesque. It was my favorite thing I ever wrote. Trying to figure out how to describe that in audio, that was a pain in the butt.
Dude, you did a good job. It's good.
Thank you. But hey, guys, thank you for listening. Please download the episode. Downloading the episode is the best way to support the show. If you'd like a bumper sticker, email us at earthlingentertainmentpodcast.com. earthlingentertainmentpodcast@gmail.com, or you could hit us up on Facebook.
And your mission, my friends, my fellow Earthlings, should you choose to accept it, is to share this podcast today with a friend, with a coworker, with a loved one, with a fellow Earthling. Let's come together as Earthlings with Earthling Entertainment.
That's right.
Every week.
Okay,
Forever.
guys, so thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week.
See ya. Goodbye. Hello, and welcome to another episode of...
No, you could do better.
I cannot work under these conditions. Hello! Hi! You, and welcome to Earthling Entertainment. Go yourself. Whew. Letting out some pent up things we didn't know we had today. Okay, I felt good.
Holy shit.
Do you want to just start this over, or am I going to just go again? You want to keep all that? My fucking headphones just fell off.